Hello, everybody.
Happy Sunday.
Say it like you like it. Happy Sunday, Sunday fun day. How you guys doing?
I'm tired
I'm tired. Teresa's tired this morning or
this
this
morning.
afternoon. It's been a long day already. Been a long day. How you guys doing? I was reading in the chat there before we got live. So it's warmed up in Alaska. That's good. We're not much warmer than you are. We're a little bit chilly. We took a 2 to 3 day chill pill down here, and we're sitting at about 47. So we're not that much warmer than you are. Pretty crazy what the weather's been doing. I mean, we were nice, and we were outside painting and getting some things done, and then it got cold, and you got to kind of watch your temperatures when you're doing outdoor paint because the paint needs to have a kind of a median range of warmth in order to cure properly and adhere to the surface. So, can you guys hear us okay? Is the microphone working all right?
Maybe tomorrow you can finish painting.
You're not going to help?
I don't know yet.
So we got all the blue painting done, but we need to do the deck paint. So we did get the blue painting done. All the rails are painted. It looks really nice, I think. And then we got the back porch. The screen porch has like some wood trim that was never painted, and the door wasn't ever painted, and that got painted. And it came out really good. I was surprised how well that came out. I kind of had a vision of what it would look like, being that all blue, the same color as the house, but it looked really good. It came out. I think it came out great. Did you like it?
So far,
Yeah. So,
I don't like the price of the paint, but
oh yeah, the price of paint's
that's
crazy.
a little nuts.
So this is what happened to us, and feel free to chime in. This paint that we bought that matched the house at Lowe's was $250 for a 5 gallon pail. $250, and we had the color codes and the barcode and the old can of paint. It was a smaller can, but it was the same color that we needed that the previous owner had left for us, so that we could color match the house. Well, we got there, and the lady she punched in the numbers, or she did her magic, because I don't know what they do back there behind the paint counter. You never know what's going to come out. And we got the paint home, and we popped the lid on, and it wasn't even close. So it was more of a gray. So I was like, well, this ain't right. And she didn't put the paint. You know how sometimes they'll dab the paint and stick it on the top label so you can see how
You're
it
supposed to
dries.
always do that, not sometimes, always.
Always. Okay, well, and she didn't do any of that. Or we would have noticed right away, hey, that color's off. And I even mentioned to her that it should come out kind of a dark blue color, kind of a slate grayish blue, but more blue than anything. And I don't know. I guess she didn't hear me. When I was talking to her, it didn't sound like she was really listening to me. She was just hemming and hawing, and like kind of like when you go in there and they're not happy being there. They don't want to be at work and they got called in. That's kind of the service I got. So anyway, a lot of wasted time. We're expecting to paint that whole day, so we had to take the paint back. And she wasn't there. Someone else was there. So he redid it for us, and he said there's something they have to do when it's not in the system, and they have to transfer. Oh no, they have to transfer the coating from the small pail to the large pail. But anyway, he did all that, and he got one digit off, and it came out almost black. So he spoiled another pail of paint. So far, those pails, at each time you try to get the paint mixed in it, it's $250 each pail. They did that twice. So that's $500 of Lowe's money. They wasted it. It wasn't, they said, I mean, they were at fault. And they clearly took responsibility, but my goodness, he got one digit off. Do you not check that digit 2 times, 3 times, 4 times before you hit go? Because as soon as you hit go, that paint starts flowing. It's a spoiled batch of paint, so it's either going to be right or it's going to be wrong. Now we went back the next day. We had some other things we had to get, and we got there. We saw our paint on the discount paint shelf. You know how much they charge for it now? $50. So they might get $100 back of the 500 they wasted.
Somebody got a great deal.
Somebody got a great deal on some paint.
And the first color was a gray, so
Yeah.
I imagine that should go pretty quick. But since they didn't put the dab of paint on the lid, maybe not.
Yeah, they don't know what color is in
I
it.
think the other one that was almost black wasn't even there, so somebody must have bought that one right up. I mean, who wouldn't? From $250 to $50,
Yeah,
that's quite a deal.
It is, and they wrote on the label "Mist Tint" on the one bucket. Now we only saw one bucket put on the discount rack, but it could be the other one hadn't made it yet, or the other one had already been sold. So, but that's pretty crazy. I would have had a staff meeting with the paint department. I'd been like, "Paint department, y'all hold your seat. Everyone else, you're released, and we're going to have a discussion about this paint." It's going to be some new rules with the paint transfer. Now, I had the barcode and everything on my phone. I thought they could just scan the barcode. That way you know it's a match. But they couldn't scan it from the original label was kind of muddied up. It was a little bit dirty and overprinted so that it wouldn't scan it. They tried to scan it, but that would have been something I would have been trying to do.
But we lost pretty much the whole day going there, coming home, and then having to go back to get the paint. Otherwise, we would have been done painting already.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
We'll
Since
see
I
how
have
it
to
goes.
try to call my doctor in the morning, since unfortunately I'm not that talkative today because I'm in a lot of pain because I tore out my stitches. I had an outpatient surgery about 9 days ago, and
Mhm.
I don't know how or what I did, but apparently I have ripped my stitches. So
Yeah.
I have an open wound and it's very painful. So tried to go to the emergency room today, but they didn't want to do anything about it. So they referred me back to my doctor.
Yeah. So here's what happened in more detail. We went to the telehome emergency room because that's where they did the surgery. So, maybe catch the surgeon on staff. It'd be easy to get her in there and they could fix it. That's not at all what happened. We got there and there was a huge waiting room and a line to see the counter. It's like 30 people in the waiting room, and it was pretty early today. I was like, on a Sunday, what's wrong with people? So we decided,
sick.
yeah, they're got sick kids or whatever, and I think that's where we got sick from. So I didn't really want to go in there. So we decided to go to the hospital in Winchester instead. I think it's a bigger hospital and a little smaller community. So I thought maybe by sheer numbers, it may be no waiting. So we get in there and there's no waiting. So you walk right up. We fill out the paperwork, sit down. Maybe 10 minutes later, they call her back. We get into a room and we're waiting, and they take a look at the open wound, and they end up calling the surgeon to find out what they want to do, if they can fix it or if she's going to want Therese to come in and do it there. And that's what she did. We were hoping that they could do it because it didn't really matter who fixed it as long as somebody can, close it back up. So her pain level at the hospital was about a 9. Would you say it's still about a 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hasn't gotten any better.
So it hurts. And
unless I get out a sewing kit and do it myself.
today, more
I'm
so,
not that.
it's been hurting
brave.
all week, but more so today than the other days. We thought it was healing and then find out that it's not, I guess is the best way to describe it.
So hopefully they'll get me in tomorrow
So-
and get it fixed up. I don't know. It's a strange world, I think, with our healthcare.
But I was pretty upset with the hospital, and then she got a little upset with me, and I understand.
Because that doesn't make anything better when somebody's in a lot of pain
I understand.
and somebody gets attitude. It doesn't help the situation.
Well, I don't think I was overly rude to them. I came first and said, well, I don't understand how you recognize that there's an open wound. You know what it takes to fix it, and you don't fix it. You put it off. So why did we come to an emergency care they're going to charge us to come to emergency care for one. They're going to have a copay, and then whatever medicines they gave you and then prescribed to you, we're going to have to pay for those. And they're not cheap when you go into the ER, when it goes to your health insurance. Everything emergency care is outrageously expensive. So I didn't really appreciate that we didn't fix the problem. That was my whole beef. Is here's the problem. You didn't do anything. You didn't fix it. I said, so what are we waiting for now? Well, I need to discharge you. Well, that paperwork is your problem. I said, we're leaving. But we did. We waited. We got discharged and left. But so I wasn't happy with that. I thought they should have done something right then and there. I don't think it was too much to ask to close an open wound. But I guess, you can't, I guess the pain level of an open wound doesn't trump the inconvenience of a doctor coming in to do it. So I guess you can't mess with those doctors on a Sunday. They're off. So won't they just shut the hospital down? I don't know. I got upset about it. And maybe I was wrong in the way I reacted, but I couldn't believe it. She thinks I was wrong.
You were.
But if I was wrong, so be it.
A hot head on top of an issue isn't going to solve anything.
And I agree with that.
It just makes it worse for me.
I agree with that. I don't understand the level of the upset that you got, but I agree that it didn't help the situation. But I was just really upset that they did nothing. So that's all.
That's why I don't go to emergency rooms. I would have normally just waited and went to the doctor tomorrow.
Well, we learned to do that next time, didn't we? So we missed church to go to the ER. So I was upset about that too. So everything doesn't happen the way you plan. But we'll get that fixed. I think it sounds like it's going to be Tuesday, but we'll call on Monday and see what plan that the surgeon, I guess, would be doing it, right? Or the appointed person under the surgeon. Whoever, somebody. I thought they could have did it there, but who am I?
Well, hopefully they take care of it tomorrow, because Tuesday I have to go get a second mammogram done, because the first one came back with some possible issues. So I have to get a second one of those to clear that up. So it's like a lot of fun going on.
Yeah. So they say that's normally because of dense matter, and they need to get it re-looked at. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just they couldn't get a confirmed reading on the first scan, so they have to rescan it.
So hopefully by the end of the week there'll be some good news, and we can hit the road. So now we're just waiting on my fun stuff.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we got stuff we can work on here. We got the treehouse taken down. Do you remember that treehouse we had? It kind of looked like a deer stand. It was an unfinished treehouse. So we've released a video this week that shows me taking it apart. And, Therese was helping too. We got it all taken apart because it had some really good wood, some 2x10s and 2x8s and some good shelving wood. I'm thinking I could repurpose that wood and do something more productive with it.
It looks a lot better without it there. It
does. It looks better without it. You got more clear view sight of the land there, the woods. And there's a better view from the back porch than what the deer stand or the treehouse was offering anyway, because the back porch is higher. It was probably 10 or 15 feet higher. The back porch is probably 20 feet off the ground.
We still have a plank there in case I have to make him walk the plank.
Yeah.
After today, he might need to walk the plank.
Yeah, I'm probably halfway across that plank already. She's going to push me here. Grow wings. So it's been kind of a busy week for us, but we really haven't gone out and done a whole lot. Now we did revisit. We did
some hiking this week.
We did do some hiking. You're right. We went back to Super Buys. Do you remember that? Where we went on the $1 day, I think it was. and we got some stuff in the bins. Well, we wanted to go on a $9 day on the first day that it started. That's a Friday. So we went back on a Friday. So we have another video on that. And it's a lot more exciting to watch because there was a line at the door. And the lady comes out and tells everybody, how to behave when you get in there, what to do, what not to do. You can't open boxes. It gives you the rules. And then she goes back in. About 5 minutes later, they open the doors and everybody's like, woof. They did pretty good, actually. They kind of stayed in order. In Florida, it wouldn't have been like that. They would have opened the doors and people would have pushed people out of the way to get there.
That's what they were doing. I don't know where you were,
Well, were
but
they?
I almost got ran over several times.
They were like, if you don't move, you won't get past. Yeah, I get that. But if you're like Florida, they just would have elbowed you and knocked you down. But so did we buy anything?
No.
We didn't. Yeah, we didn't buy anything, but we were looking. We weren't looking for anything in particular because most of these are Amazon returns, so you don't know what is going to be there. We did later learn that on Facebook Marketplace, the new management staff is posting what they have. And I don't think she's posting everything, but she's posting quite a few items, like 50 or 60 of the bigger items, I guess. So I guess we could screen that, but even knowing that they have it, you don't know where they put it. There's like 6 rows of bins and you don't know where it is. So you would still have to. I think there'd be an advantage if you took binoculars and you're in the line because you could see through the front glass window and you could spot, exactly, oh yeah, I think that's it right there. And you know exactly where to go when the doors open and go boom, right to it.
I think that's ridiculous.
But they do have big glass
I don't
windows.
need
You can
anything
see
that
in there.
bad.
Why? I know, but it's just something that you could think about. I think it'd be funny. But some people got some nice deals. There was some $80 or $90 pillows. You said people were getting in there for $9, and people had a whole stack of them. They were just walking out with them. But that's a lot. I guess a lot of resellers go on the first day because they're getting stuff that they can flip and make some money on. And you could see that. They have these satchels, these blue, I think they're blue. Are they blue? The blue
Yes.
bags you grab, and then they weren't even hardly reading the boxes. They were just grabbing them and putting the box, grab it, put it in, grab it, put it in. They're trying to get as much as they could. Could you imagine if they had shopping buggies in there? They would just be going, okay, ring me up. Get hundreds of dollars worth of stuff for like $100. But that was kind of crazy. So it's a whole lot different going on a Monday. So check that video out when it comes out. You said that's tomorrow?
Yep.
Tomorrow's video. So you'll see a line at the super buys to get in for $9 items. Pretty neat. I hadn't seen that before.
I never went to Lucky Duck on the opening day. I can't remember if theirs starts out at $7 there.
So Lucky Duck is the West Virginia version of
Super and they have several different locations. I know of 2. They might have more.
Okay.
But those stores also are bigger than the one here in Tullahoma because they have a lot more big ticket items around the perimeter of the store.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. Well, that's really all I had in my notes. Oh, we do have some interesting information. I'm sure you guys already know anyway. We usually get the information from you guys on our court case. But the deposition is March 6th. I believe that's Thursday at 10 o'clock. And that would be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Randy Shockett will be deposing Lynette on audio video. So hopefully we don't know yet what the procedure is for procuring the video and being able to air it. We don't know. We've never done that, and we don't know what the cost is associated with that. And we don't know what Randy's intention is for that because he asked for that. We didn't specifically ask for that. We're letting him run the show. So I guess we'll find out. We'll find out, and then we'll let you know. That's it on that. You guys, the Trespass 5. So how you guys doing? How you doing?
All right.
All right. Yeah, she's in a lot of pain today, so she's not real talkative, which I understand. You know, when you're in pain, it kind of takes away what you feel like doing. You don't feel good. um, but we're anxious to get on the road. We're hoping to get down to San Antonio for a few days, and then for actually a couple weeks, and kind of make our way up and around. We don't know where we're going to go exactly after that. I kind of don't like, not that I won't plan. I'll plan like the first part of the trip, but I don't like to like plan the whole thing because it's never going to work out that way anyway. You're always going to come up with something. Oh, let's go see this, and then it screws up the whole schedule. So we don't like to spend a whole lot of time mapping out every step of the way. Just like in Alaska. Well, where are you going to camp next? I don't know.
Brett does not like to plan at all. I have been asking him for years, like, what are we doing tomorrow? And this will be like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And he's like, oh, too soon. Like, don't ask me that. And I'm like, literally, that's tomorrow morning. I need to know so I can have a plan. Good luck with that.
That's not true. I've given you plans sometimes.
That is true.
Well, I don't know how much detail you need on a plan if we're at home, or if we're at home, or if we're away, or if there's a plan to go do something, you have to make those plans together. You may not feel like walking. Like, are you going to feel like walking tomorrow? I would guess probably not. So, don't be asking me.
You're just throwing a word salad out here.
Don't be asking me tonight what we're doing tomorrow. That all depends on how you feel. I'll start painting tomorrow. So we'll see how that works. But depends on the air temperature too. We should warm back up. I know many of y'all may not follow sports, but I just want to say real quick, 1 minute thing. If you watched men's basketball yesterday, there was an incredible game between Alabama and Tennessee. Tennessee was behind by as many as 9 points in the second half of the game. It's a big game because one's ranked 5th, one's ranked 6th, and they're competing for a top seed in the NCAA tournament, which is coming up toward the end of the month. And what they do is, of course, the better you play, the better your seeding in the tournament, and the easier teams you beat in the first couple rounds. So everybody vies for that position to try to win a national championship. So having said that, Tennessee's down and they're coming back. And then they lose traction, and Alabama has been ahead of them the whole time. But it kind of gets like this, and then they come back, and gets like this, and they come back. Well, right at the end, it's tied. There's like 3.7 seconds left in the game, and all Alabama has to do is inbound the ball, basically. They did not get the ball inbound. Everybody was covered. So it's called a 5-second violation, and the ball gets turned over to Tennessee. So Tennessee has 3 seconds to go all the way down the court. The game's tied. So they throw the ball in. He runs across the midcourt line, dribbling the ball, and barely gets the ball off in the air, shoots half-court shot, nothing but net. They win by 3. On the buzzer, the crowd goes crazy. Everybody's on the court. I just thought it was an amazing win. I think it's very exciting to see the students get excited about, what they do, to be excited about what they do. They're in basketball. That's what they want to do. They want to play well. Both teams fought it out. It was a back and forth fight. And now I can't see the game because I won't pay for ESPN because I'm cheap, but I had the headset on and I listened to it. And, oh man, it was exciting to hear it on the radio too. And it's like, oh, and he lets it go, and and they just won the game, and and they're yelling, and the announcers are yelling in your ear, and you can hear the fans. I don't know, it was exciting.
You need a man cave.
Yeah, it was exciting. That's all. It was one of the best games I'd ever heard, and the highlights are amazing. So if you're Tennessee Vols fan, go check it out. Or if you're just a basketball fan, go check it out. If you're an Alabama fan, you might want to just skip it. So it was exciting, though. I enjoyed the game.
I enjoyed not watching.
Yeah, she doesn't like any part of it. She won't even listen to me explain it.
And you think that would be enough for you to not explain it, but I still have to hear
You have
about
to
it.
hear it. That's right.
It's like, really? Craziness.
But there's few things in life that really like get you excited. Like a you buy a new car and that might be fun, but you're not excited. Now you got to pay for it. So exciting things are things that take you out of reality for the moment and actually go your way. That's exciting. Now, does it mean anything to me? No. Does it change my life? No. But if that's your team and they're winning, that's exciting. Now, when the game's over and it's done. And if you lose, the game's over and it's done, right? It doesn't change your life. But for 2 to 3 hours, you have fun. And then you're back in reality. So it's just an outlet.
Different strokes for different folks.
It's an outlet for me. Yeah. Heather says she doesn't watch sports either.
Not everybody does.
No.
Now, I like going to games if I was going to the game and watching it, but I don't like watching it on TV really, unless it's hockey. I can watch hockey, but the other stuff, no. But if I went to a football game or a baseball game, I would enjoy it while I'm at the game.
You went to a baseball game,
Yeah.
the Braves and Astros.
And I enjoy it while I'm there, but
Yeah.
I don't like that stuff enough to watch it on TV.
Well, maybe we can go to a game. Basketball tickets are a lot cheaper than football tickets.
I've never been to a basketball game.
But I would have loved to have been in that crowd. That would have been crazy. The whole stadium was going like this. 21,000 fans are all arm locked and going like this. That's crazy. And then when he hit it, everybody, well, even before he hit the shot, I mean, you don't know that he's going to hit the shot, but the fans are standing up and they're just, I don't know. I thought it was amazing. It was a neat finish to the game, a half-court shot right at the buzzer. In fact, time was expired. Game's over and the ball's still in the air, and it goes through the net.
I used to like going to drag races.
I've done that too.
Those are fun.
They're loud, but they're fun to watch. I always wanted to go to a NASCAR race, but I never did. And I don't like the way they do it now.
I've been to one in Daytona. It was fun.
Oh, yeah, Daytona would be fun. But I don't like the way they do the different stages now. I don't like that. But
we're going to monster truck shows when
Yeah.
my son was little. Have you ever rode in one of those?
I don't think so.
Me and my son, when he was little, rode in one of those monster trucks, and it was fun.
I've seen the Gravedigger, but I've not been in it.
Yeah, they usually have at different shows one that takes people around, and like they have a cutout bed they can sit in the back. And when my son was small, the driver said, "Come on up front." So he let us sit in the front seat with him. It was a lot of fun.
Those trucks are real easy to flip over, though.
Yeah, because when
break all
they
the
hit the
time.
brakes, like it bowed down, and you were like getting close to the dirt.
Yeah, it's that would be fun.
I judged one of those once. We got to be up in the skybox, and we had our little timers, and we had to time them and everything. That was fun.
That would be fun because you have a good view of everything looking
we
down.
got to meet all the drivers.
Yeah, that'd be good times.
That was in Jacksonville when we did that.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank our mods for being on here today. We appreciate it. We apologize that we don't feel real well, but we commit to the lives. We'll show up on the lives, and if something happens, one of us will try and navigate the live, or at least let you know that we're not going to be on if something's going on if we're traveling. But we can do a live on the road. We just got to pull off and have reception. But we do it.
We've done plenty of those.
Mm-hmm. But the weather's nice. It's a little chilly right now, but it's still pleasant. Not complaining. And in a couple of days, we'll be back up in the 60s, and that'll be even better. And hopefully by next week, we can go south where it might be in the 70s.
That'd be nice.
I don't know what Texas weather is doing right now. It doesn't get as warm there. Well, it does in the summer. It gets hotter than Florida, but not quite as humid as Florida.
Yeah, it's dry.
It's a drier. Depends on
I've
what
only
part
been
of
there
Texas.
once.
East Texas is more humid because it's along the coast, like in Houston. But as you get more west or central and west, it gets drier. So it's hard to have both humidity and heat because the heat burns off the humidity and you get a balance. But Texas can get hot. Believe me, I spent some years there at Fort Hood, and I remember some sweltering days. And I was young then, and I could, I ran quite a bit, and I'd get home and change clothes and go for a run in the neighborhood, and it would be almost too hot to run. Like you'd have to wait until the sun gets down, like 6 and 7 o'clock before you can go run. It's just too hot to be out there.
You can't catch me going on a run.
Yeah, I don't like.
If I'm running, something is chasing me, or there's an ice cream truck. But that's it. I like to go for walks, but
Yeah.
I don't like to go for runs.
Yeah,
No.
I don't like it as much as I used to, and I'm not good at it anymore. But
I think it's hard on your knees. So
yeah.
You got anything for your soapbox today?
I do have a little bit. Real quick, we'll do a mail call because we have no mail. So
The mailman likes when he gets to drive past.
he just keeps going. Don't have to stop.
Yeah,
right?
the mailman loves that.
That's right. So we'll go ahead and move into our soapbox segment. And this soapbox segment comes from today's event. That got under my skin. And then when I got to the hospital, I got more under my skin with them not doing anything. But we were leaving Tullahoma, getting on 4180, go down to Winchester. And I think it was an older lady and her husband. I don't know. I couldn't really tell. They're in a passenger car in the left lane. All the traffic is stacked up in the right lane, of course, behind me, and I'm behind her. Now, the left lane is for passing. It's not to sit in. So if the speed limit, I think it was 35 or 45. We'll say it's 45. She's going 40 and a 45. The traffic on the right, everybody's pulling out from behind me in the left lane, getting in the right lane to go around her. But she's making 15 other vehicles get in the right lane to go around her because she can't move over and get out of the way. It's selfish. It's discourteous. You're going to cause an accident. And she just seemed oblivious to the whole thing, that she was backing up traffic and that she didn't see she was in the wrong at all. She just...
I don't know why people let all that get under their skin, though.
Well,
that would never wreck my day, because I look at a situation like that for some reason, God's trying to slow me down. And maybe he's saving me from an accident up ahead, and that's why I'm behind this person that's driving slow. So you turn up your jams, you have a good time, and you get over it. I don't understand why people get all up in arms about that.
I don't typically get upset with drivers on the road unless I am having to get somewhere. And we were trying. I was trying to get Therese to the emergency room to get her seen, because you know how long you're going to be there. You don't know how long you're going to be there. So I was trying to hurry up. I was just trying to do the speed limit. I wasn't trying to speed around her. I'm only asking her to do the speed limit or get out of the way so the rest of us can do the speed limit. So I wasn't asking for anything that was unlawful.
You need to learn to take some deep breaths and enjoy life and crank some tunes.
She needs to move over. She's 10 miles under the speed limit. Now, in the motorhome, it's totally different. In the motorhome, you're not in a hurry. And driving faster in a motorhome doesn't get you there any faster. It just gets you up to the next impeding thing. But in this instance, we were going from point A to point B, and I was trying to get there in a timely fashion. And I just...
Ain't nobody dying.
Well,
perspectives.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it wasn't that kind of an emergency. It was an emergency that I need to get you there so you can get seen, so we can get back, you know, in a timely manner and not be there all day. But anyway, that's my soapbox. So your soapbox might be different.
My soapbox is, why do people have to react that way instead of just
Well, there you go.
blowing it off, turn up your jams, enjoy life, sing your songs, do a little dance.
This is Teresa's soapbox.
You know, enjoy, smile.
Oh, a good thing.
Don't be a grumpy guy.
When we got back out to the truck, someone had jeeped us.
Ducked you?
Ducked us. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at that. But it's a thing that Jeep Wrangler owners do to each other. If they like your Jeep, they put a duck on your door handle on your mirror.
Maybe they were trying to cheer you up because they knew you were a grumpy guy.
Maybe. It was a cute duck. We have them on our dashboard, and that's what that is. If you see Jeeps with ducks on the dashboard, it's a thing. Jeep owners, Wranglers, not all the Jeeps. And what's the Jeep truck called?
Everybody should know what that thing is
Well,
called.
I know, but I forget.
The Gladiator.
The Gladiator, the overpriced Jeep. It's not really a Jeep. It's not really a truck, and it's half a Jeep, half a truck. So
most people got PTSD about those,
But-
especially if they're white.
yeah, they're not really involved in the whole duck thing. I've seen some get involved, but I don't exclude them, but I don't include them. I guess they're not a Jeep. They're an afterthought of a Jeep trying to be a pickup truck. But if you see a Jeep, you like a Jeep, you duck it. And we have some ducks too that we hand out and put on other people's Jeeps. It's pretty fun to do. It's also a wave. A Jeep is a wave thing, and they do that here pretty regular. But it's just something fun that Jeep owners do. And if you don't have a Jeep, I guess you wouldn't understand. If you know, you know, right?
Lordy.
Yeah, we've seen some white Gladiators up here too, and we know what that one looks like. It has some markings on it that we recognize, but we haven't seen the markings. So, you look for a second and you go, no, that's not it. You look for it. No, that's not
Also,
it.
when you see a green Ford Ranger,
Oh, yeah.
that's another PTSD.
The creeper. You see a few of those here, but they're usually in yards. You don't see them on the road much.
I only see one all the time, and you're always like,
Yeah, it makes you take a double take, or it makes you think, but you're like, why, they're not coming up here. But it's not realistic. But hey, we want to thank the moderators. We want to thank you guys for joining us, and we appreciate it.
yep.
You got anything you want to add? You've been kind of quiet today.
Not really. Just thankful for everybody's well wishes and prayers, and thankful to the moderators for joining us and everybody for joining us. It makes a big difference having such a good community supporting us.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that everybody supports everybody. I love reading the comments when people are wishing each other well and praying for each other. That's what we should be doing, is lifting each other up. And I appreciate it. And I know everybody in this community appreciates it too.
Yeah. And that's why we like, now, Therese doesn't especially like doing the lives, but she says it's worth it when you have nice people and you don't get rude comments and you don't have people trying to create content that's negative. She doesn't like any of that. So we try not to bring that onto the channel at all. Now, if there's something that needs to be discussed or clarified or debunked, we will, but we won't spend a lot of time doing it, because that's not what we want to populate our channel with, is all the negative. We just don't. We want to do adventures. So those can be home adventures until we can get these appointments out of the way and get healthy. And
Yeah, I'm done with the doctor adventures
done
or
with
the
these.
emergency room adventures. I'm good there. I don't want any more of that.
Yeah.
So
But,
it's also messing with going to the gym. I haven't been able to go to the gym. The doctor said I know my checkup was supposed to be this Friday for 2 weeks, and not allowed to go to the gym, not allowed to do any strenuous stuff, and I miss going to the gym.
yeah. Now I would video some of that, but you're not allowed to take pictures or video any of that or live stream at this fitness center on the base. You're not allowed to do it. It's got signs all over everything. Do not take photos, do not live stream, do not video. So you can't.
There's a lot of people that don't want to be recorded in the gym.
I understand that, and I would respect that, but I kind of like to show the facility and what they have, but you can't. So, and it's on a base. It's on a very secured base. It's kind of a secret what they do on the base. So I respect that, and I'm not going to get in trouble and lose my privileges on the base. So just can't take video of it. We can talk about it. It's a nice little gym. It's got a basketball. It's got a bunch of equipment in it and treadmills. Got the newest and latest. They put in some new leg press equipment recently. It's not real big. It's not big, but you got plenty of room. There might be 10 people in there working out at all spread out, and there's different areas of it.
Everybody's really courteous.
They're very nice. You're usually in there either by yourself or almost by yourself. So it's really nice. You're not waiting to get on equipment, and if there is something that somebody happens to be on, you just go to something else and come back, and they're off. So you're not everybody's trying to get on one piece of equipment and everybody's waiting. Everybody's very courteous. I've gone in there and spotted guys that were doing free weight lifts. It's like, hey, I'll spot you if you want to push a little harder, and they reciprocate. So.
I remember the Planet Fitness in Ocala was always packed.
Oh, it's packed. I hate working out when it's packed.
It was so packed.
Yeah. You'll go over the dumbbells, come back to your machine. Machine's busy. It's got somebody else on it. You try to go somewhere else and come back to it, and there's still somebody else on it.
And always in the corner where they have all the free weights, you'll usually have all the big dudes congregated around all that equipment. So it's like they're blocking it.
Yeah, what do they call it there? I forget what they call it, but it's the big muscle-bound dudes with the 1-gallon water jugs, and they're just acting all bullish. There's a word for that. I forget what that's called. They have it up on the wall, and if someone's acting like that, you're supposed to hit the buzzer, and it makes this big alarm go off. I don't know. I forget what it's called.
I don't know.
Someone in the chat probably knows.
I just noticed
all the
a lot
Planet
at that gym is you
it.
would have the big guys blocking that zone, or a lot of the other equipment. When I used to go there in the morning, you'd have some girls taking selfies of themselves on the different machines, and like they didn't even have any weight on the machine. They were just in there posing for their pictures.
Oh, I've seen a lot of the chicks doing that. They're in there and they'll touch a weight and they got their phone like this. And I'm like, take pictures outside, move, get out of the way.
Have you found the hidden Easter egg on your Jeep?
I saw that. I haven't seen that.
No.
Nope. Eggs cost too much to just hide them.
Yeah, we're going to be painting potatoes this year. There'll be no Easter eggs. There'll be Easter potatoes. Because who can afford that? Lunkers. Yeah.
Lunkers. That's it. Yep. See, I knew somebody would know. You guys are so smart. That's it. The lunkers, not the lunkers.
I mean, it was cheap to go there, but it was so crowded.
Yeah.
Even at all hours. And I know they're open 24 hours, but I'm not going to the gym in the middle of the night.
Some people do.
There was a couple of times I went there at like 5 a.m, and I'm like, why? That is just not right.
I'm not even awake at that time. Yeah.
Some people who went there in the middle of the night would see John Travolta there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the only time you'd be able to get in there.
I always thought that was weird because you figure he would just have a gym at his house and
Yeah.
work out there.
Sure.
But I guess sometimes they like to go to places and pretend they're regular people.
Yeah, he's got property near Ocala, doesn't he?
Yeah.
John
and
Travolta does.
Jambalaya.
Yep.
So people would spot him around town periodically.
Mm.
So, I wasn't going to work out in the middle of the night. No.
Nope. And the fitness centers that are on some of the bigger bases, like Fort Hood, Fort Campbell, those places, they're so packed. Like you have to during lunch, they're over busy. During PT in the mornings, they're too busy, and in the afternoon, right after work, they're too busy. So you have to try to find. If you work nights, then you can probably get in there. Like if you can get in there between 9 and 11, that's good. If you can get in there between 2 and 4, that's good. Every other time, it's just too busy. You're going to be waiting to get on the next piece of equipment. But the one that's here is awesome. It's just a little bit of a drive. It's about 19 miles. But there's 2 of us that are going, and we spend 2 hours there, and it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved when I lived in Ocala, but it's gotten pretty crowded there now.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of my favorite places to live. They had a lot of parks, and I used to go kayaking at Silver Springs all the time.
That's where the monkeys are, huh?
So, yeah, I had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, then they film one of the Tarzan movies near Ocala, and they decide
Tarzan, the original Tarzan.
The original Tarzan?
The series was filmed at Silver Springs.
Oh, and then they left the monkeys there. They didn't think they'd cross over, but they can cross the water or whatever, and they're in there. In fact, we saw them on that pontoon boat ride with Jeremy.
Yeah, we saw manatees.
And monkeys.
We went out there with Christian and Patience and Jeremy and George. That was a lot of fun. Yep. We went a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. We've also kayaked down it too.
Mm-hmm.
We had your son dropped us off, and we kayaked that whole thing. Yeah. It was about 5 or 6 miles, I guess.
I used to go by myself when I lived close to there.
Yeah, you get real close to the gators in a kayak.
Yes, I've been close to those, and even the monkeys. I almost had them jump on my kayak before.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. They might.
Well, I didn't want it either, but
they might look nice, but they're not friendly.
Some pontoon boat came up next to my kayak and kind of had me stuck in there, and then these fools were throwing food to the monkeys. So the monkeys obviously were trying to get on the thing, and they're over there in their pontoon, and I'm down here in my kayak. I'm trying to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But they were photographers, and they were trying to get close-up pictures. So.
Mm-hmm. But they don't realize they can actually hurt you.
Oh, yeah, those things have...
They're mean.
I don't know if they have hepatitis, or they've got some kind of something, and they've got those big teeth.
Yeah, they're gnarly.
Got the telemarketer trying to call.
Telemarketers are calling you.
They probably want to refinance my loan, or
oh my gosh,
pay off some student loans.
We get letters almost every day about refinancing this
whatever
property.
else.
We just got it. Oh my goodness.
All the scams. You got to be careful with all that.
So many scams.
It's a scam world full of grifters.
Well, guys, I think we're going to call it a day.
What day are you going to call it? Sunday?
It's still Sunday Fun Day, even though it's not football day.
Oh, my goodness.
It's okay. Yeah, we appreciate it. I enjoy doing the lives and talking to you guys. And she enjoys when there's nice people and good conversation, and when she's feeling better. Sorry she's not feeling well. Hope she feels better soon. I was hoping today she would feel better.
It might be herpes. I don't know what those monkeys have. It's something with an H.
Yeah, herpes.
Yeah,
that too.
It might be. I forgot. But they're the Reese's monkeys.
Yeah.
Not Reese's cups, Reese's monkeys.
Yeah, and I prefer Reese's They're hard to spot. Let me tell you, they can be right there on the bank, but they're not. They don't move. They just sit right there, and they're very still, and they blend in so well.
I've got good pictures of them from when I used to go by myself. If you're not being antagonistic and acting foolish, they'll just sit there right in the tree right next to you kind of and not really mess with you.
Right.
So I've gotten some fabulous pictures of them when I've been by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But most people just want to be a certain way with them.
Of course. Mostly the tourists.
But I'm not going to get bit.
Everybody in Florida is a tourist just about, huh?
Not everybody.
This time of year.
I was a Floridian. I was born in Florida.
Yeah, I know.
Which those are rare, I guess.
Not many of those anymore. They're all in Tennessee. All the tourists went to Florida, and the Floridians left and said, "That's enough of this. We're leaving." But I never was a beach person. I think the beaches are overcrowded. That's the problem. If it was a nice, serene beach and you didn't have to share it with a million people, it'd probably be nicer. But when you have to pay to park, and then you walk over to the beach area, and then there's 1,000 people on the beach, where's the fun in that? So I much prefer mountains. Usually you can isolate yourself, or I don't have to be totally by myself, but you gotta have some elbow room, out in the mountains.
You couldn't be by yourself. You like talking too much.
I don't like talking.
Huh?
I talk to you.
You talk in your sleep. You talk so much.
I don't know about that.
You would, if you had to be out there by yourself somewhere.
I'll talk to the trees.
You'll talk to the trees. Oh man. Oh, too funny.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what, you guys have a great Sunday fun day. Enjoyed hanging out with y'all. I'm glad you guys came out to hang out with us. And hopefully soon we'll have some adventures away from the house. That'd be
away
nice.
from doctors.
Away from doctors, away from cold weather. And we can get on the road.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Can go visit some thrift stores in Texas.
Yeah. What do y'all think about some thrift stores in other states? If it's warm in Texas, I would like to visit Schlitterbahn. Do y'all know about Schlitterbahn? I remember it, but I hadn't been there. You just kept driving by it. It's like a German town on the way to San Antonio, south of Austin. It's a big water park, so it has to be hot for that.
I want some German food.
No, but I'm sure they got that too. So, are you ready to say goodbye?
Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a good Sunday. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. It's the next adventure on Madam Mayor's Adventures.
Y'all have a good week.
Yep. Have a good Sunday. Bye, guys.